Live this morning, CBS 47 Fox 30 Action News Jax starts right now.
The push for a lost art to come back to classrooms. All the benefits lawmakers say that come from kids by writing in cursive.
Plus, a mother's fight for justice.
He wants the plea bargain.
Why she says she had to convince prosecutors to seek the strongest charge in a sexual battery case involving her daughter.
Also, a crackdown on illegal license plates, the new law that hopes to make people think twice about flipping their tax. Welcome, everyone, to Action News Jax this morning. 5:30 is your time on this Thursday morning. I'm Phil Amato.
And I'm Chandler Morgan. We're glad you're waking up with us on this Thursday. Let's get your weather and your traffic every 10 minutes and send you on over to Corey Sima for weather in a minute.
Clock's ticking, Chandler and Phil. Here we go with that beach walk forecast this morning. You might need a jacket. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 60s. It's cooler farther inland, though, down into the mid 50s. It'll be a little bit breezy at midday in this afternoon out along the coast. We'll have a northeast wind. That's going to rough up the surf a little bit. It's also going to keep our daytime highs only in the mid to upper 70s out along the coast. It's another great day today, though. The bulk of the Jacksonville metro will be up in the low 80s this afternoon, and then not a whole lot changes. Friday, even into Saturday, all stays sunny and really pleasant, including some nice mornings out there as well. We are always tracking the tropics in the First Alert Weather Center. There are currently no active storms. We have a highlight here over the Caribbean. We're watching way down the road, like the last week of October. Some of the long-range forecast models are hinting at some development. This is usually the area we have to watch later into hurricane season. So we're not quite done with hurricane season. The next named storm is Melissa, if we do get one, but that's a long way out. In the meantime, we have beautiful weather to enjoy in the First Alert 7-day forecast. It's now 5:31. Phil?
Thank you, Corey. First Alert traffic taking a live look outside from our DOT network of cameras. We have this camera at 295 at UNF Drive there. Still pretty slow at this hour when it comes to the number of cars on the roadway. So looking pretty good. So we're giving it a green light, no problems at all. We'll have another check of traffic coming up in about 10 minutes.
That's the latest from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center.
Your time's 5:32. Florida lawmakers are looking to improve student cursive reading and writing proficiency. Action News Jax Logan McDonald is live now with more on this. And Logan, this new bill includes some very unique language. Tell us about it.
Also, requiring teachers to take an oath to nonpartisan teaching. But it's a bill that the bill's sponsor says has been long overdue. In an era where many students are typing up essays using digital platforms and doing a lot of their homework online, the art of reading and writing in cursive can seem like a bit of a lost art. And Florida students were supposed to be taught cursive in elementary school, but State Representative Toby Overdorf says the current requirement falls short. And Overdorf says learning cursive has several surprising benefits that go beyond elegant penmanship. Cursive proficiency can improve fine motor skills, dexterity, and even help diagnose certain conditions at an earlier age. Jacksonville residents we spoke with say they're all for the idea.
In fact, it also helps with an early diagnosis of dyslexia. So when you combine all of those things, the benefits absolutely far outweigh anything else.
The bill still has a long way to go, however, and does not have an official Senate sponsor. Session is expected to continue in January. For local coverage you can count on reporting live, I'm Logan McDonald, Action News Jax.
Covering Columbia County, where a Lake City mom says that she had to convince prosecutors to seek the strongest charge against the man she says raped her daughter nearly 3 years ago. Marky Church is the man investigators say raped a 16-year-old girl with disabilities in 2023. Church has an upcoming hearing for that 2023 case, and the victim's mom says that she was worried he would be offered a plea deal. But after pressing prosecutors, she says that they will take the trial.
I feel relieved, and I hope we do win. I just want justice for my daughter.
Action News Jax reached out to the state attorney's office earlier to ask about the case and if it was considering a plea deal. We did not hear back. Church faces 28 cases in Columbia County, one from 2015 involving sexual battery and human trafficking charges.
Florida law says your license plate must be visible. A new law cracks down on attempts to cover, conceal, or obstruct your plates. Instead of getting a ticket, it's now a misdemeanor. Drivers have used tinted covers, flip-up mounts, and even reflective sprays in attempts to avoid toll and traffic cameras and license plate readers. A former JSO officer says it may be legal to sell the products, but you're not allowed to use them.
You want your tag to be able to be seen so you don't get a ticket, you don't get stopped. You don't want to put yourself in that situation.
You can also face charges for license plate frames that cover certain features on your license plate.
Here this morning, the state of Florida is suing Roku for allegedly collecting and selling children's sensitive data without parental consent. The lawsuit filed by Attorney General James Uthmeyer claims that Roku collected and sold data such as children's locations, viewing habits, and voice recordings. Florida's newly formed Office of Parental Rights is pushing for penalties against Roku and advocating for stronger data measures, protection measures.
Well, the restaurant is closing after almost 3 decades in 5 points. Management at Mossfire Grill announced the restaurant will close November 9th. They wanted to let their regulars know the date so they could plan one last meal. Some locals say they're sad to see it go.
I definitely will, because we loved their tacos. We just had all their stuff, their salads, everything.
It's just sitting upstairs, having a beer and tacos. It was always great experience.
The owner said he wants to thank everyone for their support.
Well, new this morning, the National Transportation Safety Board says that faulty engineering is to blame for the implosion of the Titan submersible that killed 5 people in 2023. The cause was revealed in the NTSB's final report released yesterday. And that report claims the Titan did not meet the necessary strength and durability requirements, adding that the owner of the vessel, Ocean Gate, failed to properly test the Titan and wasn't aware of its true durability. The report also said that the Titan's wreckage would have been found sooner if the company followed standard guidance for emergency response. All right, still ahead, the holidays just around the corner, and so is the season of spending.
Consumer reporter Clark Howard tells us how you can still book a flight without breaking the bank.
Plus, an update on the passing of iconic actress Diane Keaton. What doctors say was the cause of her death.
I'm Action News Jax meteorologist Corey Simmel with mornings comfortable and afternoons pleasantly warm. Temperatures are up and down a bit, plus I'm tracking a cold front in the first alert forecast. Your time is 5:39 here on Thursday. I'm Action News Jax meteorologist Corey Simmel. Welcome back. It's 59 in Jacksonville and Brunswick right now. Nice and comfortable start. We're in the 70s, though, down in South Florida. Much more mild. Whatever adventure you have planned outdoors today. The weather looks great. You'll probably need a jacket out the door early this morning with those temps in the 50s and 60s. By this afternoon, though, it's going to be a pleasantly warm day with daytime highs in the upper 70s and low 80s. It's going to be another great one. Any travel plan? Things are looking just fine. There's some rain streaming on shore around Port St. Lucie right now, but it looks like a largely dry day area-wide. When rain tries to work its way back in the first alert forecast. It's now 5:40. Chandler?
First alert traffic monitoring the roads for you this morning from the DOT network. You're getting a live look here, I-10 at Hammond Boulevard. And you can see we got a vehicle with its hazards on. Looks like 2 vehicles off on the shoulder there. And we also it looks like there's an FDOT ranger there too, helping people out. So we're just keeping an eye on this, as you're going to have to move over a lane as you pass through this again on I-10 in Hammond. Another check of your traffic in less than 10 minutes.
That's the latest from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center.
This morning, people who can claim a portion of 2 AT&T class action lawsuits now have more time to file their claim for. That deadline has been extended by a month to December 18th for 2 separate cases of customer data breaches. Those in the first class action can get up to $5,000. A reward in the second settlement would be up to $2,500. The first case was in 2019 when call and message logs of nearly all AT&T users were exposed. The other was from last year. Customers' names, addresses, and account numbers were accessed.
New this morning, we now know the cause of death for Hollywood icon Diane Keaton. Officials say the actress's death was caused from pneumonia. Action News Jax told you when the Oscar winner died at her California home on October 11th. She was 79 years old. A lot of people will miss her.
Well, coming up next, we're hearing from a man who took care of a tiny turkey.
The odd place where he found the egg and how he actually got it to hatch.
Plus, keeping your stress and the price down when booking a flight for the holidays this year. Consumer reporter Clark Howard as the secret to saving. You're watching Action News Jax this morning, a live look outside St. Augustine as we wake up on this Thursday. Your time, 5:45. You know, the holiday season is fast approaching, and you might think you missed your window to save on flights.
Well, new this morning, Action News Jax consumer advisor Clark Howard says you may still have some time to save.
If you're thinking you want to go visit family for Thanksgiving or go do whatever over the Christmas, New Year's holiday period and go by air, well, most years I'd tell you, hey, you should have done that a good while ago. But new data from Google Flights says this year, the key moments to look at booking your fare for Thanksgiving are around October 22nd. Crazy late normally for finding a bargain. Christmas travel, New Year's travel, around Halloween. Right around that time will get you a treat, not a trick on an airfare. Now, here's the thing with holiday travel, though, for Thanksgiving or for Christmas. Be as flexible as you possibly can on who you're going to fly and the days you're going to go and the days you're going to return. Using Google Flights or Hopper or some other shopping tool will help you find the best deals. I'm Clark Howard.
Old Saint Nick will ride through the sky. You should see these reindeer fly.
Aren't they amazing here? Yeah, we're watching their performance this morning. Speaking of the holidays, Radio City Rockettes getting ready to welcome the holiday season in New York City as the iconic dance company kicks off rehearsals this week. This year, the team's milestone centennial year, and 10 new Rockettes were welcomed from 10 states, including Georgia. The 2025 Christmas Spectacular is set to feature innovative technology, including immersive digital projections, frost fairy drones, and holographic animations.
It's such a milestone moment for the company, and to just be stepping in and joining this legacy that's been inspiring audiences for generations is just so special, and it's such an honor.
Since its opening at Radio City, the Christmas Spectacular has been seen by over 72 million people from around the world. This year's show kicks off November 6th.
I live in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, too. You know it's Christmas, right? Well, check your freezer today as Publix may be recalling your favorite ice cream. It's because of a mismatched lid on the Publix rich and creamy French vanilla, putting those with severe egg allergies at risk. That ice cream was sold in Florida and Georgia, but Publix says it was not sold in Jacksonville. We don't know what that means for nearby cities, though. No illnesses have been reported so far, but you can return that ice cream for a full refund. Well, new this morning, what would you do if you found a turkey egg on the side of the road? Well, one family found the answer was pretty easy and decided to hatch it themselves. That's right. Ben Buffler from Minnesota says his uncle was out bike riding one day when he came across this egg. Buffler's uncle gave him the egg since he has an incubator at home, but didn't expect the egg to hatch. Now Bulford and his family helped raise the turkey and named it Tiny.
I think it's fascinating how much they can adapt to suburb life. The closest thing Tiny has to his sister is Sage the dog.
That tiny turkey has grown to pretty big, too, Buffler says, and they moved her to his mother's property in southern Minnesota, where she's now roaming free on some 5 acres of land.
Dived up.
Thanksgiving will come and go, and not going to be any problem for that turkey either. So that's really weird. What would you do if you found a turkey egg on the side of the road?
I just looked it up, and I guess a turkey egg is 2 size the time of a
regular
chicken egg. Yeah,
Oh.
so I was trying to imagine, I guess, how I would identify.
I don't know if I would
what it
know.
was. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if I would even touch it. So I guess that they must be familiar with the process.
I guess so. I mean, just to have an incubator nearby, I guess
Yeah.
that turkey was pretty lucky, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tiny and the dog. Kind of sounds like a children's book or something.
Might be.
Huh?
There you go.
That's a pretty cool story. Let's take a live look outside this morning. Our JIA First Alert Sky Chem Network We are looking live out over a pretty comfortable morning. There are the lights from the parking garage, the terminal building. You have no problems weather-wise getting to the airport or out of Jacksonville. I can't speak for other parts of the country, of course. Remember to check with your airline. It's going to be a beautiful day today. There's Jacksonville up to 81. We'll be in the upper 70s out at the beaches with a bit of an onshore wind. It'll be breezy today out along the coast and the St. Johns River, but there will be less wind inland and it will be warmer. There's Lake City to 84, Waycross to 85. You see mid-80s inland in southeast Georgia with upper 70s out along the coast. There's St. Simon's Island to about 77. And then, well, tonight it's going to be another pretty cool night. We'll be in the upper 50s and low 60s for lows, even up into southeast Georgia as well. And daytime highs, let's get back to that. Daytime highs are going to stay pleasantly warm even through the weekend. You see we're 81 today and tomorrow, 82 Saturday, and there's Sunday 83. A very weak cold front is going to move through Sunday into Monday, and it's going to bring basically no rain with it. It'll bring a few clouds. The air is not going to be all that much cooler behind the cold front. I said it's a weak one. Our temperatures are going to waffle slightly. We'll be up into the mid-80s Saturday and Sunday, and then we'll be back in the mid-80s come midweek next week. First Alert Doppler HD is dry. There is no rain here at home, and it is a dry several days that we have in store. We're looking at the satellite imagery here, and the map is almost completely blank here over the southeast portions of the United States. High pressure is taking hold. That is keeping the active weather away. And in the tropics, there are no active storms. No development is expected over the next 5 to 7 days. Come the last week of October, there are some hints of some development in the Caribbean, so we got to keep an eye on that. This is a long way out, though. The forecast is going to change many times between now and then. If you see things floating out there on social media, I wouldn't listen to them. I would trust the First Alert Weather team. And Talking the Tropics with Mike, updated in the First Alert Weather app and actionnewsjacks.com. Meanwhile, it is a beautiful week in the First Alert 7-day forecast, including your weekend always in view. There are daytime highs up into the mid-80s by Sunday morning. Stay comfortable in the upper 50s and low 60s all the way through next week. You get the latest First Alert weather and the latest on the tropics at actionnewsjacks.com. But right now, let's check in with the chief, Mike Burrish.
Good morning. Well, this is an interesting map. Of course, it's been a relatively quiet hurricane season, well, definitely quiet for the lower 48, right? Good news there. This is the number of days that at least some portion of the states in the lower 48 have been in the National Hurricane Center's cone, the forecast cone, right? And interestingly, Florida, state of Florida, has had 3 days in at least part of that cone. That's less than Arizona and New Mexico, believe it or not. And let's hope the season stays quiet, always more, in Talking the Tropics with Mike at actionnewsjacks.com and our free First Alert weather app.
First Alert traffic monitoring the roads for you this morning from the DOT network, and we're getting a look here. The lens isn't necessarily focused from the Florida 511 cam here, but it's I-10 west before State Road 301. A crash is listed as blocking the left lane for this area, and we're giving it a yellow light for that reason. So just keep in mind you are going to have to slow down or move over a lane if this is part of your morning commute. Another check of your traffic in less than 10 minutes.
That's the latest from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center.
Coming up in the next 15 minutes of news, the local mall making a move to crack down on teen takeovers, what you need to know before the new rules go into effect tomorrow. But first, the newest theme park from Universal, the classic characters that visitors will get to see, and the spot catered for calming moments.
3 big things you need to know, powered by Safe Touch Security.
Here's your 3 big things for this Thursday, October 16th. At number 3, Florida lawmakers are going to try again to repeal the free kill law. It says adults over 25 cannot file medical malpractice lawsuits seeking damages for pain and suffering after the death of a parent. It also bans those lawsuits by parents for the death of a child 25 or older. Lawmakers passed a similar proposal earlier this year, but Governor DeSantis vetoed it. At number 2, After 30 years, Adventure Landing in Jacksonville Beach is officially closed. The amusement park opened in 1995. Guests with tokens or gift certificates can redeem them at one of their 9 other locations. And at number 1, starting tomorrow, teens hanging out at the Orange Park Mall must have a parent or a guardian with them on Fridays and Saturdays. They'll go through a checkpoint and get a colored armband. Violators face arrest. Those are your 3 big things that you need to know this morning.
This morning, we're getting a new look at some pictures of what Universal's newest theme park will look like. That park is the Universal Kids Resort, opening next year in Dallas, Texas. There will be 7 lands featuring classic Universal characters like Shrek, the Minions, and SpongeBob. The park will also feature sensory gardens to give children and families calming moments. New this morning, unhappy shoppers could be returning close to $1 trillion worth of products this year. The National Retail Federation predicts 15.8% of retail sales will be returned this year, totaling nearly $850 billion. That number is still lower, though, than last year's rate, which was 16.9% of sales, or $890 billion. According to the NRF, 82% of shoppers say free returns is a major factor in their purchases, which is up from 76% last year. All right, here's Action News Jack's first alert meteorologist, Corey Sima.
Looking live outside at downtown Jacksonville this morning. Phil, things are nice and quiet out there. There are maybe some patches of fog, especially farther inland. Temperatures are a little up and down, but boy, we still have pleasant weather ahead. Those first alert details are next.
Speaking of downtown Jacksonville, could soon look a little bit different. The bill that could bring more dining and drinking to downtown Duval. And teachers could be soon taking an oath, why some say it could be a cause for concern.